Good day everyone, especially Sir Gabby Banano. For today's reporting, we are going to report the 7 moral reasoning models. But first, let me introduce my fellow reporters. Miss Melida, Mr. Lumida, Miss Herrera, Miss Piton, Mr. Lisama, and last but not the least, Miss Minyas. Our group will assign to one scenario and we need to apply the 7 step of moral reasoning models. So this is our scenario. You are a doctor at a top hospital. You have 6 gravely ill patients, 5 of whom are in urgent need to organ transplant. You can help them, though because there are no available organs that can be used to save their lives, the 6th patient, however, will die without the particular medicines. If he dies, you will be able to save the other 5 patients by using the organs of patient 6. Who is an organ donor and what will you do? First step, gather the facts. The simplest way of clarifying an ethical dilemma is to make sure the facts are clear. Ask this question to yourself. Do you have all the facts that are necessary to make a good decision? For example, what organ needs? What type of illness patient 6 have? If the patient 6 agree that she will willing to donate, example, if I'm the doctor, I will go first to patient 6 and ask her if she wants to be a hero. After that, I'm going to tell that we need an organ donor to save the lives of 5 patients who need an organ donor. If he agree, then we need to run the test to see if her organ are qualified to donate. Yeah, and next reporter, please.
Now, let's determine the ethical issue in the scenario. The doctor experienced a dilemma by choosing a life of the 6 patient had no particular medicines or a 5 patient that needed an urgent organ transplant. Kanino nga ba ang mas matimbang na buhay? Ano ang iyong pipiliin? Ang iyong kagustuhan na makaligtas ng mas nakarami o ang karapatan ng pasyenteng magdesisyon? Save a 5 patient at all costs. The doctor can save them immediately by a lie that can cause human life to sacrifice for the others. Dahil nga sa posibilidad na kagustuhan ng doktor na mailigtas ang 5 pasyente ay maaari siyang makagawa ng mga hindi makataong kilos at hindi tinitignang mabuti sa ating batas at kultura. Give the rights of patients to decide and tell the possible outcome. We need to consider the 6 patient was alive and being a doctor that they need to save human lives, not to kill them. Giving the rights to decide of the 6 patients to sacrifice or not. Why did I say it was a sacrifice? Because the 6 patient has no particular medicines, but we know there's a possibility that she or he can survive by a treatment. Yes, opo, we need to know some of our diseases had no particular medicine, but their treatment can be possible cure them, like examples of cancer. Alam natin ang buhay ng pasyente ang ating pinag-uusapan, kaya't bigyan natin siya ng karapatan na magdesisyon. Kasi in the passage of Republic Act 9, number of 7170, that is an act authorizing the legacy or donations of all parts of human body after death for specified purposes, otherwise known as the Organ Donation Act of 1999. This Republic Act was approved by a permission or a human body after death na pwedeng gamitin ang kanilang parte ng mga katawan.
Thank you, Ms. Herrera. So for the step 4, list of alternatives, we have option 1, option 2, and option 3. For the option 1, 6 patients give his organ to this 5 patient. For this option, there's a chance that the 6th patient will permit the suggestion of the surgeon to take his organ in order to save the 5 patients. Next option is don't do the transplant and let the 5 patients die. The surgeon will not operate on the 6th patient because if he can find other way saving his 5 patient because of the available organs, he will have let them die. Let's go to the last option, number 3. Do nothing and let the 6 patients die. Surgeon may not proceed in the transplant and let the 5 patients die because there is no available organ that can be used to save their lives, and the 6th patient will be die because of her incurable 6 no matter what happened. It's obviously which one you choose somebody is going to die. Next reporter, please.
We have three alternatives, so let's proceed to option 1. In option 1, the 6th patient will provide his or her organs to the other 5 patients. In option 2, don't do the transplant and let the other 5 patients die. And in option 3, do nothing and let the 6 patients die. So if we weigh the consequences of these alternatives, I must say that we must choose option 1 because option 1 is the most reasonable alternatives, and we can save the lives of the other 5 patients by using the organ of the organ donor, the 6th patient. So if we look at the other alternatives like option 2, don't do the transplant and let the other 5 patients die, it's unreasonable to do so because we have the organ donor. And in option 3, do nothing and let the 6 patients die, I must say it's an absurd option because it is unreasonable. And so we must choose option 1 because option 1 is the most reasonable and logical option that we had.
Thank you, Mr. Lisama. And the final section of our report will make the final decision. And the final decision is, the 6th patient will be the organ donor because he may not be treated due to a lack of specific medicine, and the situation would only get worse if they all died. And as a doctor, I will speak with him and ask his family's permission to be my organ donor, and I will educate them on how important it is for him to donate his organ because it will help to save 5 patients. And we will proceed legally outlining all the circumstances, including the need for the organs and the patient's health, and filing a mercy petition for them. And the organs required for the 5 patients will be transplanted. And this is where our report ends. Thank you very much.